Full time, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 1, and Arsenal have emerged as winners in this game of football. And remember very well in the match preview what I told you? I told you that I see an Arsenal win written all over this. Though for me, I went in for a 2-1 win for the club of Arsenal because I noted that the absentia of Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, Mikel Merino, and so on and so forth couldn't stop Arsenal from obviously doing the needful to see that everything really moves on as to planned. If they never had Rice and either of Jorginho and Thomas Partey out, I would have gone ahead to worry because that midfield would have gone ahead to be what we call lightweight. But with the coming in through of this guy known as Jorginho and Partey to play in that double pivot, that means you're having two players who act as sixes in one position. Though we all know to it that Jorginho is a press-resistant player, Partey can play as a number 8, but you saw to it that they really never maneuvered into that front pitch or that front side of the pitch because they felt like they needed to shield their back for better and better and better. And in the entire game, Arsenal had to wait for Tottenham Hotspur to really attack, and Arsenal really responded effectively. Welcome to this channel, North London Derby. Arsenal's gonna hit to win it in style, and they are the winners of the day. And remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, and Mono Gadgets are dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops, right? Even if you want used phones and used laptops, call them on +256 70 99 88 665. And to throw more light on the used laptops and phones, they come from the United Kingdom. So guys, continue to do the due diligence and put in the required shift all together into the mix. So as it stands, we thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and let's get into the huge digest of this video. And today was the day, and Arsenal came into this game of football with a lot of pressure because Man City had gone ahead to obviously win. Had obviously gone ahead to win their game, and Arsenal came into this game of football with Man City being 5 points ahead of them, and that piled more pressure onto the side of Arsenal with the absence of other players they really never had in this game. Obviously, pressure was mounting on the side of Arsenal, and guess what? Arsenal went ahead to respond in a better way possible, and they went ahead obviously get themselves on a win. Gabriel Martinelli, for me, he had the best chance of the game in the first half when he was really released by Leandro Trossard, and he really faced the goalkeeper and really went in for a very, very, very sloppy effort towards the goalkeeper, that is Vicario. But Spurs also had some threatening chances that called in for two good saves coming in through from David Raya, and Arsenal really pushed on and pushed on and pushed on. But as I've always told you that Arteta has gone ahead to master his craft on how to really do things in such games, because Arteta used to combine two things: play to impress, one, and then win. So he used obviously play to really pass what we call the eye test. But today, you've gone ahead to see to it that he respected Tottenham Hotspur. He played, almost on the back foot, and he was like, come on. And his plan was like, I'm going to hit you on the break. And most of the chances that Arsenal got to threaten that back line of Spurs, they had hit Spurs onto the break. And how does that corner come up? You all know how Arsenal hit them on the break. And there have been very many opportunities in there for you when Arsenal really hit Spurs on the break. And I think this is something that this guy needs to learn, the manager of Spurs, that you have to respect your opponent. You just can't come out and really play highline like that against Arsenal. I know he is a man who believes in his players, he believes in his tactics, but I think it's high time he obviously came up and really got to know that certain things don't work that way. If Arteta, a manager who has better players than you, went ahead to obviously say, all right, let me sit back and obviously hit you in the break, why don't you do that? Because the more you open up, the more Arsenal will obviously hurt you. And today, obviously, I won't say they never missed Martin Odegaard. They missed him a lot. They missed Martin Odegaard a lot because I saw on several occasions into that central attack midfield area when they were lacking that player to hold onto that ball a little bit and obviously find that line-breaking pass. And today you saw to it that Trossard only released only released Martin Odegaard once, you get? But if I thought it was Martin Odegaard, he would have gone ahead to cause trouble to that back line of Spurs, because he would have gone ahead to obviously find those spaces. I believe they're also lightweight in that midfield because they never had Yefis Bissouma and they only had, I think, Pame Tassar into that midfield. So Spurs came up and obviously never respected Arsenal, and what Arteta did was, I'm gonna respect you, Spurs, and he respected them, and finally he found himself really winning this beautiful game of football. And one thing they're really getting right as the side of Arsenal is, one, do the due diligence and keep all the positives that they really harvested from last season. And last season they won here by 3-2, and today they've gone ahead to obviously win by 1-0. And the negatives that saw them concede 2 goals last season after really getting a comfortable 3-0 lead in the first half have been things that they haven't even gone ahead obviously come near to. You know, the first negative was the first goal. You saw how it came out, you know. David Raya gifted the ball, and obviously I think it was Song Hyun-myun, it was Madison, you know, and went ahead obviously put that ball in the back of the net. And then Declan Rice caused the penalty. You saw all the 50-50s that were really won very well, and a lot really put in the required shift all together into the mix. So that is exactly how everything really went ahead to happen at the at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Arsenal went ahead to edge them on either fronts. They defended very well and they closed down Dominic Solanke. And I think for Arsenal, it's really much to note that they've gone ahead to keep another clean sheet. You all know to it that Arsenal kept a clean sheet in the game of Wolverhampton Wanderers that they opened up with, and they went to play away. What was the second game of Arsenal this season? Arsenal's second game in the Premier League, where they also, I think, they kept a clean sheet, and they failed to keep a clean sheet against Brighton because Brighton found themselves in a situation of really capitalizing onto the red card that was given to Declan Rice, and they really did the needful. But Arsenal's second game this season was against Aston Villa. They played away at Villa, and they really won by 2-0 and collected what we call a clean sheet. Now, Arsenal has played 2 games away from home, and they've gone ahead to collect a clean sheet. And remember, last season, they went ahead to lose away at Villa, and they've gone ahead to collect 3 points. And now, they're having 10 out of the possible 12. So, beating Spurs away, Aston Villa away is something great. And the next Sunday, Arsenal is going to be playing Man City away. We don't know how they're really going to react, but it's going to be a very huge game for us to obviously talk about onto this beautiful return of ours known as the Rokani Media Football. So, Arsenal have gone ahead to keep another clean sheet. Those are 3 clean sheets. And this early of the season, if they have 3 in, that means David Raya is really going to find it easy to maybe defend this golden glove. You know, I think Andrew Onana has 2 clean sheets. Liverpool had 3 clean sheets, but they conceded yesterday and they lost. And it's only Alisson Becker with 3 clean sheets. Man City, I think they've almost been conceding in every game they're going to have to play. But for the clean sheets, I think it's really going to be a battle between Alisson Becker for Liverpool, David Raya for the club of Arsenal, and Andrew Onana for Manchester United. Because for Manchester United, I've gone ahead to see their defense improving hugely into the mix. Let's talk about Bukayo Saka. Man collecting another assist today through that goal that he puts in as a set piece from a corner, and Gabriel Magalhaes went ahead to obviously do the needful. I've gone ahead to see Gary Neville come up and obviously hail the man called Nicolas Jova. Nicolas Jova is the set piece coach for Arsenal, and every time they're going to take a set piece, you see to it that he comes in through and stands into the manager area, meaning that he gives them instructions on what to do and how they're supposed to be putting in those set pieces. And today, Arsenal have gone ahead to score their first set piece goal of the Premier League season. Remember, last season they scored 20 plus set piece goals, and today they've gone ahead to score their first. And if at all they capitalize onto that, they can even get in like 30 this season, because there is an additional player who really brings in that aerial dominancy and presence, and that is Mikel Merino. Very good. And imagine a team that has Merino, Declan Rice, Saliba, Magalhaes, Kai Havertz. Those are 4 towering lads, all threats into the air. And now they're obviously going to come up with very many threats. And who are you going to mark? Who are you going to leave? So Arsenal is really getting things right. I was really questioning myself, why is it that a team that scored 20 plus goals in set pieces last season hasn't gone ahead to score in 3 games a goal from a set piece, and they've gone ahead to register it today, and they went ahead obviously score it in a corner. And that's how you win such games. And Gary Neville's also gone ahead to hint on it, that this is how a team wins a league, and it shows you the maturity in those Arsenal players, that they've gone ahead to put in the shift when it has been really hugely required for. And that's the huge impact that you'll ever get from the side of Arsenal, because they'll continue to put in the shift every time they are called upon to do the role. So that is Arsenal for you. And the other positive is how they've really seen Julian Timber fit to that team. I think Julian Timber, his match fitness had been really bad. It had been really bad. But we saw it today that he really closed down Kulusevski, and even they brought in Brian Johnson, and he also closed him down. That shows you really how good this player is and how important he is. And when we talk about last season, one of the hugest red flags that Arsenal had into their season was missing out on a player like him. And he saw to it that he's closing down that side. That's why 4 games played, how many clean sheets? 3 clean sheets, and more is yet to come. And the big one, Arsenal versus Man City at the Etihad Stadium, is really going to be one of those that is going to get us up and running to see what exactly Man United is really going to be, what Arsenal is really going to be doing into that beautiful game of football. But Saliba is another guy to talk about. Do you remember that block he made in the first half, coming in from a guy known as Solanke? You know, it was a pass towards Thomas Partey, and I think Son Heung-min went ahead, obviously put in a little booty to it, and it really lost its direction to Thomas Partey, and it went in the vicinity of Solanke. Solanke turned, and by the time he raised his leg to shoot, guess who had obviously interfered? Was Saliba. And I tell you what, to me, Saliba is the best right-sided centre-back into the Premier League. And what were the stats like? 15 shots by Spurs, Arsenal had 7. 5 shots on target by Spurs, 4 shots on target by Arsenal. 64% ball possession by Spurs. This is what I told you, that Arsenal surrendered the ball possession to Spurs, and Arsenal had only 36%. And let no one lie to you that Arsenal couldn't really hold a lion's share of the possession, but they were like, you have the possession, we are good at defending, we will see who will obviously emerge as the winner. And guess who emerged as the winner? It was none other than Arsenal, with 36% ball possession, walking away with 3 points into the bag. 492 passes completed by Tottenham Hotspur, 281 passes completed by Arsenal. 88% passing accuracy by Tottenham Hotspur, and Arsenal had a passing accuracy of 75%. 13 fouls by Spurs, 10 fouls by Arsenal. 5 yellow cards by Tottenham Hotspur, 3 yellow cards by Arsenal. 0 red cards to both sides, 2 offsides to Tottenham Hotspur, and 3 offsides to Arsenal. 7 corners to Tottenham Hotspur, and 6 corners to the side of Arsenal. And one of the corners resulted into a goal. Now, all of you might be asking, how is the table really looking? This is how beautiful the table is really looking. 4 games so far. Man City 12 maximum points with a goal difference of 8. Arsenal 4 games played, and they're really having 10 points and 5 as the goal difference. Liverpool 4 games played, they're having 9 points. Aston Villa 4 games played, they're having 9 points. Brighton, 4 games played, they're having 8. Nottingham Forest, 4 games played, they're having 8 points. Chelsea won yesterday and they're having 7 points. Newcastle obviously played yesterday. Sorry, Newcastle is playing right now, 3 games and they're having 7. If at all they win against Wolverhampton Wanderers, then they'll obviously displace Liverpool from the 3rd position, and depending on how many goals they will score, they can even dislodge Arsenal provided they surpass that 5-mark goal difference. Then Brentford, 4 games they're having 6 points. Man United, 4 games they're having 6 points, and that is the top 10. So if all goes well for Newcastle, it goes there, but Man United is playing Crystal Palace next. Man City is playing Arsenal over the weekend, and I believe that it's really going to be a draw. Now you see how things are really going to change drastically. That, for example, if Man United wins against Crystal Palace, that is it, on Saturday, they'll go to 9 points. And Man City and Arsenal, if at all, okay, let's look at 2 scenarios. If they draw, Man City will be having 13 points and Arsenal will be having 11, and United will be having 9, meaning that United will be 2 points behind Arsenal and 4 points behind Man City. Then, if Arsenal beats Man City, Man United will be 3 points behind Man City and 4 points behind Arsenal. So, things are really going to change like that. That's why, on several occasions, I've come out and told you that don't judge a season not until it clocks how many games. Not until it clocks not until it clocks 10 games. So your reaction to the game are welcome in the comment section below as Gabriel Magalhaes wins it for Arsenal in a different fashion altogether. Last season, by the way, he scored 4 goals in the Premier League from set pieces. He has opened up his account by really scoring this most important goal of the game for the club of Arsenal. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, the Muslims. May the living to Allah bless you abundantly. I'm out.